No talk again this week, I don't think. Just restarted working part-time. I'm doing a college class, so that's been taking time up. There's a lot of stuff to focus on. Anyway, we're going to do a short reaction, and be honest, maybe I'm looking too deep into this, but even the title looks patronizing. Watch this cheerleader ask her autistic schoolmate to prom. She's so special. No one else would give that guy the time of day. He's so low. But because of her, he's going to get one day to be normal. One day to live live the life everyone else wants. What a bullshit fucking title. I teleported bread. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, what is that?
I have a question.
Will you go to the prom with me? Yes!
Okay, he's excited, and I love the guy in the foreground who's like Chad wouldn't. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, it's kind of sad because it's like, I don't know, he thinks that I feel like he thinks he has a chance and this is going to amount to something. And it's like, I highly doubt that. Like, what are the chances that this person after this prom is ever going to really even seriously hang out with this guy again? I mean, really, what are the chances? You think that they're going to form a long-term relationship? They're going to think that they're going to get married in 10 years or something? I'm going to say no, most likely not. And not just because high school relationships tend to, dissolve. I'm going to assume there never is a relationship, and this is just like sort of, patronizing, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like, you see what I'm saying? I would want someone who's actually seriously interested in me and doesn't view me as less than or different, and them doing this for me is giving me a chance to be quote-unquote normal. And it just, I don't know, like, I probably would say no in this situation. If you put me in this guy's shoes, I'd say no. I'm not going to be your pity date. I'm not going to be, the person that you give a chance to be normal. Like, either be serious about me and seriously want to pursue something, or don't bother with it,
So is that a yes?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, isn't this girl so nice to give you a chance to do something, to be normal? That statement just seems like really wrong to me. Congratulations, you're going to prom. I don't know. Also note how, like, the disabled population is in their own freaking room, away from everyone else. It's kind of how it was for me in school. It wasn't completely in disabled classes, but the ones I was in, it felt like we were just separated from the rest of the school in our own little world. Very little interaction, which is bad because it doesn't give exposure and allows prejudices to take hold and fester. Like, if you had people who were non-disabled interacting with people who were disabled, first it allowed them to break down those barriers and realize, maybe they aren't so different. And in any case, we definitely shouldn't be treating them like they are different and like they're less than. It also would be nice because it would have given me exposure to people who could have maybe maintained good relationships, as opposed to, I've made multiple videos about how frustrating interacting with the disabled community is because there's just no follow-through. You send text, there's no response. You make plans, they don't confirm. It's like there's just no relationship there because you have to basically carry everything. And you can do it for a while, but then you get exhausted and pull back just to see if just to take a break and see if the other person actually gives enough of a crap about you to fill in the gap. And they never do.
Yeah.
Do you like your case?
Yeah. Sweet.
Wait, can I get a picture of you guys both?
Oh, yes.
Can I get a picture of you guys for my Facebook? Aren't I such a good cheerleader? I give these people who are different a chance to be normal. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard on this. I'm very cynical about this because because I definitely have been treated differently before. Even one of my long-term relationships, like, they said they didn't judge me based on that, but it was clear they did, because like there was things that they would say and do that made it clear they judged me. Like there was one like, oh, well, you're disabled, so you're probably never going to get a part-time job, so I'm going to have to work hard to cover the deficit. And it's like, way to make me feel bad about who I am. Like, I don't know if that was your intent, but that's just not right. Like, it's sort of like you're trying to make me feel guilty for who I am, potentially not being able to work full time. Instead of being understanding, you're like, well, you're acting like I'm somehow less than, and you're going to have to cover for that deficit because of that. Pisses me off. My cat trilled a little bit, pissed her off too. But yeah, I've seen a lot of videos like this where, it's like, oh, someone asked someone to prom and gave them a chance to be normal. It's like, how about instead of pretending to care about somebody and a chance to make them look normal, how about actually caring and just putting yourself aside, breaking down those barriers? Another good thing about exposure to regular ed people that I just thought of too, there's certain things that people with disabilities do that are just that are like really need to be, nipped in the bud. Like some of them are way too overt with how they hit on women. Some of them are manipulative. There was one guy who tried to he went to my then girlfriend at the time and he's like, hey, Victor told me that he doesn't want to be with you anymore because he was hoping he could get with her. And it's like, how manipulative. And it's like, that needs to be nipped in the bud. There was another one too. He impersonated the person's like fiance on Facebook. And he said, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. Because then if he's not with her, then, oh, hey, the guy who's impersonating can be with her. It's like, and, there's probably some things I did too that it's like, looking back, I should have done them. But it's like, no one ever told me. There was no one who wasn't just as out of it and oblivious as I was. So there was no point of reference for and straight man to say, wait a minute, dude, you can't do that. Like, that's not going to work. Did you think about how that makes him feel? There's no point of reference. I'm definitely really clueless when it comes to dating, but in some ways I'm probably better than most of my peers that I've grown up with, because at least I could see when someone, like there was one guy I knew, he's like, oh, hey, he was talking about this one girl that he wasn't even with, and he's like, I'm going to marry her. And it's like, dude, you haven't even asked her out yet. You can't just go right into marrying her. At least I could see like how just that wasn't going to work and that wasn't realistic. Some people, think about how the guy who was saying that was like, clearly like his head was just not grounded in reality. And, no one, I feel like maybe if someone had told him earlier on, dude, that's not realistic, maybe, because again, it's probably not going to serve him long term. I think I checked on Facebook. I think he's still single. And it's not, it doesn't serve him long term to buy into those fantasies and support that stuff and say, hey, yeah, sure, she'll marry you. No, you need, there's a certain way to do things. And
Fucking baby talk to his dog.
Woo! Come on.
Okay, I'm going to actually leave what that guy said in, because quite honestly, it does relate to another point. But yeah, it's a certain way to do things, and it's like, you can't just go in and ask people to marry you that you haven't even asked out yet. Like, they're not going to say yes. You're not serving yourself good in that relationship, and people are going to have a reputation about you as well. Because if they're going to it's going to get around. If you try to manipulate people out of relationships, you try to play them against each other, that's going to get around, and people are going to be like, avoid that guy. And I can't really say I blame them if literally they're trying to pit their significant others against each other. Again, kind of buys into the whole fact of the disabled community kind of sucks, because there is no community. It's every man for themselves. And even people who you would think would be allies can turn against you in a second and try and, take what you have away because they're jealous. And also, the patronization. Like he said, I'm using baby talk to talk to the dog. I think that's something that I've received a lot, is patronization. I don't know if I saw it as much from the girl that handed him the cake, but the person who was like, oh, you're going to prom. It's like that baby talk. Like, you're talking to these people who are adults like they're infants, which again reinforces the idea that they're less than. Like, I've seen a lot of people that I have been in programs with, like AIDS and stuff, who do that crap. They talk to people like they're less than, and it's just, it's sad to see people too who, unlike me, can't see through it. Although maybe it's not sad, because at least they don't understand the sad context of it, they actually think they have a chance. But it's sad to see these people like respond to this and think, oh, this person respects me. It's like, no, they don't. They view you as less than. And I can see that super clearly. I can see that super clearly, like the nose on the end of my face if I look down. Or that when I'm betting in poker and I get called multi-ways, I probably shouldn't keep betting if I'm bluffing. And yet these people just, they're oblivious enough to where they think that they actually have a chance. And they think they waste their time and effort pining over these people who don't even view them as equal. And it's like, maybe it'd be nice if people, A, viewed them as equal, but B, maybe it'd be nice if like they were more aware and they would realize, I actually don't have a chance with this person because they don't respect me as an equal. So I need to go and find someone who is going to do that. Yeah, I think if this was a Reddit story, it's kind of an everyone sucks here. Not going to lie. Like, I can see faults in all sides. The people with disabilities, maybe not for this particular video. I don't think the disabled population did anything wrong here. But like, I can understand there's like certain unrealistic expectations they have. But whose fault is that no one ever gives them a reality check? And also, whose fault is it that they're unrealistic? Like, you want to get, to some extent, like you want to get with these people, theoretically there should be nothing stopping you. But because you're disabled and they're not, they're never going to give you a chance. I don't know. This kind of went on a bit of a tangent, but that's just a personal issue to me.